Hi, this is Ms. DeVito, and today we're going to talk about knife cuts, how to produce stick cuts, and dices. We are going to talk about onions, carrots, and celery today. If you're cutting a rounded vegetable, here are some things to remember. First, you always clean and peel your item to be cut. You're going to cut them down into manageable sizes, and then you're going to slice a thin slice off of a rounded vegetable to make a flat side. You're going to trim the remaining 5 sides to produce a rectangular shape. Take the rectangular shaped vegetables and cut them into slices or slabs. Cut those slices or slabs into sticks, and then the stick cuts are then turned into dices. So first let's start with celery. Celery, we have to remember we have to clean and trim it. We're going to cut it into long, thin sticks. We're going to cut it down into the size that we need. From there, if you need a stick cut like a bâtonnet, you're going to cut them in 2-inch strips. If you need a dice, you're going to cut that long stick into the size that you need. So let's take a look. First, we're going to start off with our celery. We're going to trim off the tops of our pre-washed celery. These leaves that are at the top are actually good to save for stock. You can put them into a salad, but for my soup, I am not going to put them in. They are edible. I'm going to put them on the side. So now I'm going to start my dice. So in order to dice celery, what I like to do is cut them into sticks. Okay, cut them lengthwise so they're all even in size, and then I'm going to dice them. So I'm going to start by putting them all together and then slicing them into about 1/4 inch squares. And this is a rustic soup, so they're not really going to be perfect. I just want to make sure that all of my vegetables are cut the same size so that they cook evenly and look the same during presentation. Now let's proceed with our carrots. You're going to peel and trim them, cut them into manageable sizes, and then from there you're going to square off the sides to have a flat surface. Once you have a rectangular shape, you're going to cut slab slices. After you cut the slabs, you're going to stack them together and you're going to cut your sticks. That would be how you get a bâtonnet or a julienne. And then from there, you're going to cut your dices from those sticks that you stack together one last time. Let's take a look. Next, I'm going to prepare my carrot. The carrot's a little bit more tricky because it is round in shape. So I first want to make sure that I peel my carrot. You can wash the outside, and the outside is edible, but it looks much nicer once it's peeled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually square off one side of the carrot, just a thin slice to make it not roll anymore. And then I'm going to continue to cut small slices off of the exterior of the other 3 sides of the carrot, and I'm going to have a large cube. Now I'm going to make some slices that are about 1/4 inch thick, and that's the first step to getting my dice cut. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take these slices and I'm going to cut them into sticks. That's the second step to get a dice. And then my third step is to cut the stick cut into a dice. So make sure that you're using your guiding hand, your non-dominant hand, to hold the carrot securely, as well as guide your knife each time you cut through the carrot. And finally, we're going to dice an onion. To do that, you're going to trim both the stem end and the root end slightly. You're going to peel the skin off, and then from there you're going to do your horizontal cuts. The thickness will depend on the cut that you're looking for at the end. Then you're going to do your vertical cuts from top to bottom. And then you're going to do your cross cuts from front to back to produce your dice. Let's take a look. Next, I'm going to prepare my onion. As you can see, there are 2 sides to an onion. There's a blossom end that grows out of the ground, and then there is the root end that grows below the ground. You want to make sure that you do not cut too much of the root part off, because that is the part that actually holds the onion together when you are slicing it. It holds all of the onion petals together. So I'm going to trim both sides slightly, and I'm going to take the peel off of the outside of the onion. Then I'm going to cut this onion in half, and I want to make sure that I cut it well so that you can see that there's still part of the root end, right? It's a little bit darker of a yellow, still visible. Now you're going to cut into the root end of the onion. You want to make sure that the root end is towards the back of your guiding hand. You're going to make 3 horizontal cuts, then you're going to make about 6 vertical cuts, and then you're going to go from front to back to complete your dice. And I like to just chop the last bit of the end because I don't want to have anything go to waste, and it's safer for me to chop it like this instead. Any bits of the root end can go into the trash or into a stock bin, and that's a quick way for you to dice an onion. So now we have prepared our onions, carrots, and celery. Onions, carrots, and celery together are called mirepoix. Mirepoix is the foundation to many soups, stews, casseroles, all different dishes. Remember to keep practicing your knife cuts because practice makes perfect. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell for notifications for when we post new videos.